Happy summer, food lovers! This summer has been really hot, especially for me since we don't have an AC. I had to rely on a lot of cold foods this summer to beat the heat, so I thought I'd share my top 10 foods to eat during a heat wave. When it's a hot day or a hot stretch of days, it's hard to muster up the energy to cook anything. You don't want to cook anything anyway because it will just heat up your already hot home, and you're too hot to eat hot food in the first place. So to me, good hot weather food must meet any or all of the following criteria. It must require no cooking, be easy to make, be either cold or room temperature, and still be nutritious in some way. I mean, it's easy enough to just grab a half gallon of ice cream and start eating, but that's not the healthiest choice you can make. So with all these criteria in mind, let's start with number 10, cold noodles. When I was in Japan, I loved eating cold soba or somen noodles on a hot summer day. Dipped in an ice-cold, vinegary, soy saucy sauce, they're light and very refreshing. Hiyashi chuka, a cold version of ramen, is also really nice. Or, for my fellow Americans, who can resist an ice pasta salad? While you do need to cook the noodles, this only means using your stove for 8 to 10 minutes, so it won't heat up your home too much. And all the other preparations for cold noodles are cold. Pasta salads are particularly nice because you can throw in some canned beans, olives, cheese, cucumbers, tomatoes, fresh herbs, and you've got yourself a meal that's not only cool, refreshing, and easy to make, but it's also nutritionally balanced. Number 9, hard-boiled eggs. This is something I like to make in anticipation of a heat wave. A few days before the hot weather actually hits, I'll hard-boil a dozen or so eggs so my husband and I will have an effortless, cold, and healthy source of protein once the heat actually hits. And if I have the energy, I'll make deviled eggs. Always a potluck favorite and definitely worth all the farts. Number 8, cold-cut sandwiches. While not always the healthiest choice, though this will vary depending on what kind of meat and cheese you use, a cold-cut sandwich is fast, easy, packed with calories, and most importantly, cold. My favorite is salami, provolone, tomato, lettuce, and cucumber on a hoagie roll with mustard. Nitrates. Number 7, snobby fruit salad. Regular fruit salad is great too, but I'm talking about fruit with goat cheese, nuts, and lightly dressed in balsamic vinegar, sea salt, cracked black pepper, and fresh mint. It's light, refreshing, and indulgent, and the cheese and nuts help elevate it into a proper meal. My favorite fruit combo for this salad is watermelon, strawberry, peach, and pluot. Number 6, fruit smoothies. They're like milkshakes, but healthier. And they're super easy to make too. Add frozen fruit to a blender, milk or yogurt, a little fruit juice, and you've got a snack that's refreshing and healthy. You can also throw in some chia seeds or peanut butter if you want it to be more filling. Smoothies are also a great way to use up fruit that's about to go bad. If I know I'm not going to be able to eat my fresh fruit on time, I freeze what I can't eat and put it in smoothies later, so it's thrifty and yummy. Number 5, hummus and pita chips. You might think of this as a snack, but it actually makes a pretty healthy meal, especially if you add some baby carrots, cucumber slices, celery sticks, and cherry tomatoes to the party. Hummus, made from chickpeas and sesame seeds, is packed with healthy plant-based protein and fat, and if the not-so-nutritious pita chips concern you, you can always eat the hummus with raw veggies or whole grain crackers instead. There's no law saying it has to be pita chips, they just taste better. Number 4, iced tea. It's important to stay hydrated, we know that, but sugary sodas and fruit juices aren't always that good for you, and water can get boring. So what I love about iced tea is you can use the hot weather to your advantage by making sun tea at home. It's a much cheaper alternative to buying a jug of Arizona at the store, and you can regulate your sugar this way. I don't add any sugar at all to mine, and it's not at all bitter or tannic when you brew it in the sun, so I highly recommend this method. Number 3, cold cereal. I was never a big fan of cereal as a kid. I hated the sugary ones especially, but the more grown-up cereals like plain Cheerios, Chex, Corn Flakes, and Rice Krispies are actually relatively good for you and won't make your teeth fall out. It's also the easiest, fastest cold meal, so it's perfect when your apartment is 90 degrees with no relief in sight and it takes everything in you just to peel your sweaty body off the couch to stumble into the kitchen to get something to eat. Cold cereal isn't the tastiest thing, but it sure hits the spot when you're melting and running on empty. Number 2, grain salads. I love salads made with bulgur wheat and couscous in particular because unlike other grains like rice or quinoa or pasta for that matter, they require barely any cooking. You just boil some water, pour it on, and let them steep for a few minutes. These salads also keep pretty well as leftovers, so you can make a big batch at the beginning of the heat wave when you still have the energy for a little cooking, then feed off the leftovers for the next few days. Add some canned beans, sprouted lentils, nuts, seeds, or cheese for a quick no-cook source of protein, and dress with plenty of lemon juice or vinegar, and you've got yourself a healthy, balanced, filling, and refreshing summer meal with almost no cooking involved. Number 1 is ice cream and pudding. I know, I dissed ice cream earlier for being unhealthy, but everyone needs a little morale boost during a heat wave, and I can't think of a better comfort food for hot weather than a nice, freezing cold bowl of ice cream. And if the empty calories concern you, you can make some vegan nice cream by pureeing frozen bananas with peanut butter, or perhaps some chia pudding with milk and chia seeds. All it requires is measuring, pouring, and stirring, and you can add as much or as little sweetener as you like. Or if you're an omnivore and a planner like me, you can always cook a nice homemade pudding or ice cream a day or two before the heat wave strikes and have it ready in your fridge or freezer, nice and cold, waiting for you when you need it. So that was my top 10 favorite foods to eat during a heat wave. But it's certainly not every food that's great to eat during a heat wave. Share yours in the comments, and hopefully we can all get through the rest of this summer in style. So yeah, sorry I haven't been making many videos lately. This heat's been making me lose sleep and energy. So I decided to channel that into a video that will hopefully help some of you suffering from the same thing. Okay, I had to turn the fan off to record the audio for this, and now my boob sweat has boob sweat. Ah, iced tea.